We see that a lot. Just wanted to make sure that that was continuing. I would like to also welcome some board members that I see here tonight. Our newly elected Elvis Strunka is the treasurer of the OVA board. And Andy, where are you? Andy Altman is the vice president. And because I didn't bring my glasses, if there's another board member here, I can't see you, so stand up. Good, okay. We'll get on with the Oakmont structure. One of the reasons I wanted to talk to you about this is because Oakmont Village is actually a very unique association. It's not what you would call a master association. It's an association that was formed to provide athletic and recreational club facilities for the use of its members in the corporation and their guests. So normally, if you would buy into a homeowners association, you would have a master association, you might have some sub-associations, but they'd all be under one master, and you'd have a clubhouse or something, and that's how you would deal with everything, is you would all be one. In this specific instance, because Oakmont is over 50 years old, and they were still trying to figure out how to develop these retirement communities at that time, we have a little bit of a hybrid. And what it is when I talk about Oakmont Village or OVA, what that means is the Recreational Association. So in addition to the Recreational Association, there are 35 separate associations in addition. And there'll be a test on this later. If you're in a sub-association, you're responsible for paying two different sets of dues, what we call dues or assessments. So one of those dues monthly goes to your homeowners association, and it's largely paid for insurance and common area maintenance. And then you also pay an assessment to OVA, and that is to maintain these recreational facilities and the common areas. And for the OVA dues, each person in the household is responsible for the $63 a month. So in other words, if you have 3 people living in the household, you're supposed to be paying 3 times 63 or $189 a month. The annual operating budget for this recreational association is $3.5 million. We have an administrative staff of 6 full-time people, and what's funny about it now is there's my assistant Kathy Doherty, then there is a Kat, then there is a Kate, then there is Cassie, and then thank goodness there's an Ophelia and a Marsha and a part-time assistant by the name of Mary Pickering. We also have 9 custodial and maintenance people. And currently, there's approximately $711,000 in the operating account, approximately $997,000 in the reserve account, and approximately $509,000 in the capital improvement fund. Are there any questions so far? Do I have you totally confused? You're so confused you don't know what to ask, right? No. Well, yes. The yes part about it is in order to build the Central Activities Center, there was a mortgage that was taken out years ago, but it's almost, it'll be paid up in 2016. Oakmont has over 120 groups and organizations, like I mentioned previously. Unfortunately, we can't fit them all into the Burger Center. So the organizations that are presented here were the people who came and signed up on a first-come, first-served basis. If you'd like to know about all of the Oakmont groups, you can find more information on our website, which is www.oakmontvillage.com. And you click on the amenities on the top bar, and you'll find a listing of all the Oakmont clubs and organizations. in addition to that, Oakmont has numerous committees. The only committee that is specifically mentioned in our bylaws is the Architectural Committee. This committee is tasked with the inspection and enforcement of the architectural rules and guidelines. And we have tonight here the architectural chair, Mary Ann Neufeld. Over there. And would you like to say a little something?
Well, I'm sure everyone moved here because it's a beautiful community, and that is in part because of the Architectural Committee. One important thing for everyone to remember is that whenever you do a modification to the outside of your home, which includes roof, painting, doors, windows, landscaping, plants, trees, fences, anything like that, yet you have to get architectural approval first before you start your modification. We have an office that's open Mondays through Thursday, and we have a regular administrator, Mary, is there. She will give you all the right plans, and you're set to go. It's very simple. Just get a modification first, and you're on your way.
Thanks, Marianne. Does everybody know what the Oakmont E-Blast is? Ever heard of it? Nod your head, please. Okay, great. Resident Harriet Falk and I prepare an E-Blast every Friday, and it comes out usually at the 11th hour on Friday night, because we're frantically trying to get the last bit of information into it. It's full of photos and information regarding what's happening in Oakmont. And we also include events that are outside of Oakmont that we think you might be interested in that aren't necessarily listed in the Kenwood Press or in the Press-Democrat. And occasionally we've been known to throw in a few jokes from time to time or some funny pictures just to make it interesting. So if you haven't gotten the E-Blast and you would like it, please sign up at the desk with Kat, and we'll make sure you're added to the list. We have some great prizes and certificates to give out this evening, and they've all been donated by the Oakmont businesses. And it's important to understand the relationship of the Oakmont businesses to Oakmont Village. They're the first thing you see as you come in. They're very important. They are the reason you get that beautiful directory every year for free, because their advertising pays for that. They also give out all these wonderful prizes twice a year at the newcomers reception. And it's important that we support them, because the businesses support us, we support them, it's symbiotic, and you don't want a lot of vacant-looking commercial structures at the front of a property. Also, it's important for everybody to know that these buildings and these commercial businesses are not owned by Oakmont Village. So they're privately owned. So if you would, we get sometimes some emails about, like the sandwich board signs or the flags or something like that. You would have to complain to the businesses who are in there, because we just don't have any jurisdiction over that. But in the end, it's very important that we all support these businesses. We have the raffle tickets, and now it's ready for the first drawing. I'm going to give you some questions about Oakmont, and the first person who raises their hand, I don't have my glasses, so hopefully the first person I see that raises their hand and answers the question gets a prize. So here's the first question. Who or where, who owns the polo field, and where is it located?
1 second.
The polo field was built by Henry Troni, and it has a separate private club, and it's back towards the direction of the Catholic Church, basically like the south.
Right. And your name is, for that?
Chuck Wood.
Okay, this, you will get a gift certificate. And what's important to know about the polo field is the fact that although it's owned by someone else, and there's a polo played on the fields in the summertime, that we lucky Oakmonters get to walk our dogs there. So it's a wonderful community for us to have, but one of the things that they're asked of us, there's a whole list of rules about the polo field, but of course you have to pick up your dog, and when it says you can't use a field, don't use a field. So, but it's a wonderful thing because we don't have a dog park, so it's the next best thing. Here's the second question. Who knows who OCF is, or the Oakmont Community Foundation? That's what I thought. That's why I asked the question. There's a hand back there. Pat. Oh, you're not new. You're okay. All right, I'll tell you what it is. The Oakmont Community Foundation is an independent 501c3 corporation whose primary purpose is to provide a way for the residents or Oakmont supporters to contribute to the initiation and improvement of Oakmont education and other charitable activities through tax-deductible donations. An example of what OCF supports is the Oakmont Health Initiative. If any of you take these wonderful classes at least 3 times a week for free, they support that foundation. They support Music at Oakmont. They support the art committee, the library. It goes on and on. So if you ever want to contribute to them, they're usually listed in the Oakmont newspaper, or you can certainly come to the office, and they're here today, so you can talk to them. All right, here's the next raffle drawing. We don't have it on there. There's a pond in Oakmont. Where's the pond located?
Behind the East Rec Center.
Yes. There's a beautiful pond behind the East Rec Center that usually nobody knows about. It's only word of mouth. And at one time it was a fishing pond. I won't go into why it isn't anymore. There was a flood and fish died. Anyway, it's still a lovely pond. And in that area and behind that area, there's a park. It's a park and they have a lot of picnic tables. So if you want to go up there and just hang out by the pond or have a group, it's a lovely area, and I strongly suggest you go check it out. It's also another way to access Annandale Park. Okay. Did Pat get your name? Okay. All right. So now I'm going to show you the information material that probably none of you read when you came in and told the office that you were a new homeowner, a new resident here. And I want to point out some important things in case you didn't look at this, and that needs to come back to the office. And one of them is the confidential survey. If you haven't filled out this survey, it means that you won't be able to access any of the buildings that you need an access card to. So please fill that out. We also need to know who's in your home, your emergency number in case, who to call in case of an emergency, things like that. The other thing, the sheet of paper you need to fill out is if you want to be in the Oakmont directory, telephone directory. So if you don't look at your material, and even though we know that you're here, if you don't come in and tell us and fill out that form and say, I want to be in the Oakmont directory, you're not going to be in the Oakmont directory. So that's another important thing. The phone book is really a lot more than the phone book. It supplies you with a lot of information that if you have time, take time to wander through it. It has information about bus routes. It also has a wonderful map in there. I know when I was new to Oakmont, I would keep getting lost on these side streets, and so I had this directory in the car and would pull it out, and I got home, found my way home. The other thing is Again, I want to tell you that this directory, that's free, beautiful, colorful brochure, is supported by the people who are the commercial businesses in Oakmont. Here's the next raffle question. Who do you call if there's a pothole in the street? And who do you call if a street light's out? Back there.
City of Santa Rosa?
Right. Okay, and your name is?
Bob.
Okay. What's important to know is sometimes we feel like we're mommy because people call us for things that normally you would call in a master association, because a master association normally would own and maintain their own roads. The master association would normally have their own street lights, and if something would go out, it would be their responsibility to put in a new light bulb. But in our case, that's not the case, and most of the streets are owned by the city. So who you call is on page 10 of the directory, and even there's emergency numbers on page 10 of the directory. Okay, here's the next round of question. Who is here from the Meadows? Nobody? Where? See, I can't see. Oh, over there. Kat, did you see them? Okay. Who moved in first? When did you move in?
Our house is being built, we haven't moved in yet.
Oh my, and you're here already, wow. All right, you're ready to go.
Yep.
Wonderful, welcome. Who else is here from the Meadow? Can you see somebody? Somebody else? No? All right. Get this gentleman's name, he gets a raffle prize. And if, for those of you who don't know, the Meadows is the last and the newest neighborhood that's being built in Oakmont. So welcome. And it's my understanding that 12 of the homes have closed. So the next item of information I want to discuss is that news about Oakmont comes from a number of different sources. There's the Oakmont News, and that's the newspaper that comes out the 1st and the 15th of each month. The first edition has a monthly calendar that lists all the monthly activities. And the Oakmont News is always looking for volunteers to write for the paper, especially with anyone with a journalism background. So see those two people right at the end of that row, and if you have a journalism background, they would love to talk to you. Next, we have the Oakmont website. And we have one now, but we're working hard to design a new Oakmont website that will be launched in the coming weeks. We are currently in the beta testing project, and we hope it will provide lots of information for both casual viewers and people who are looking for a greater community like this. On the resident side, the site will offer easier navigation, up-to-date information, club news, alerts, and everyday operations information, including access to board policies and activities. So it's going to be a much improved, much easier to navigate website. The other piece of news we have is the Oakmont News Online. Marty, is the Oakmont News Online updated every day or a couple of times a week?
A couple times a week.
Okay, so you can check it online a couple of times a week. You can get updated news there. And then there's a Friday e-blast. And if you may have come across, some of you, some social media sites. The Oakmont Buzz was started 4 years ago, and it is a closed Facebook group. If you have a Facebook account, you can request to join the Buzz. The Buzz posts new news stories on our website and announces events taking place here in the neighborhood. Nextdoor is a social media site intended to connect neighbors to neighbors, both in your immediate neighborhood and adjacent neighborhoods. Next door, like all sites of its kind, can be a place to find recommendations, things for sale, and more often than not, a place with lots of discussion, debates, and opinions of every kind. I have to tell you, more than once, I have gotten severe heartburn from reading the rousing debates and opinions on Nextdoor. But everybody's got an opinion, and it's a great venue to have open discussion. All right, here's my next raffle question. What is a VRBO? No, you can't. You already won one.
Get your glasses.
VRBO is vacation rentals by owner.
Are they allowed in Oakmont?
No.
Thank you. No, they are not allowed in Oakmont. You can't rent your home here for less than 30 days. And we are starting to watch the listings on the vacation rental websites. And we will take away common area privileges as well as fine owners who we catch doing this. This is the fastest way I know of to decrease everyone's property values and also drive your neighbors nuts. And usually, if we don't find them listed on the VRBO website, then your neighbors will turn you in. Okay, the next question is, who owns, and you can't answer this either, who owns the Oakmont Golf Course? Okay, I knew it was going to be a good question. Oh, there is a person? Oh, okay. Pardon? Close, you're warm, yes. It's operated, it's so it's 75% Oakmont Village residents and 25% people who live elsewhere. What's your name? Right. Well, you don't have to be, or do you have to be? You have to be members of the golf club. Right. Okay. But if I wanted to play golf, could I go play golf? Okay. So you don't have to be a member to play golf. Okay. Okay, all right. Then I went on to something else. I'm going to introduce you to Heather, who is, what's your position? Director of Sales and Marketing at the Oakland Golf Club.
Well, speaking of golf, do we have anybody in this room that likes it? Raise your hand. You don't have to be good, you just have to like it. Does anybody like to eat food? Anybody? Everybody? So we have something for everyone, that's where I'm trying to get at. We are a semi-private golf course. We have two courses, two beautiful courses, an east and a west course. We have affordable membership plans. We have men's sections, women's sections. It's really a special facility. Lots of great people. We have a restaurant that's open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. with a brand new menu, by the way, as of 2 days ago. Lots of great items. We have a gorgeous banquet facility, recently remodeled, new carpet. We do about 50 weddings a year now, over 350 events total. So it's a really special place. As you can see, I do have a bottle of wine here, so got your attention. And we do have a raffle for golf for two, lunch for two, and a bottle of wine. So we would like to give that away. We've got 233241. Yay! We have a winner. Same one.
Come and pick it up after these closings. Thank you. All right. Is this its dying breath? No, it isn't. Okay. Does Oakmont have a bus service? All right. It has a number 16 and a number 30, and they come and pick people up and take them outside of Oakmont to different shopping areas, and I think they even go to some of the hospitals. That's great. The next section of this is all of these volunteers, it's about volunteers. All the volunteers you see at these tables play a crucial role in making Oakmont such a successful and attractive community. There is no way that we could do all of this and have all of these activities without the help of all the people you see in the room, plus many, many more. At some point, it's going to be your turn to volunteer, and we hope you consider getting involved in these wonderful activities. Okay, here's the last raffle question. Who knows the difference between OAS and OVA? You live here. Who's, Kat? I can't see.
I work here.
Okay, all right. See, we get a million of these every week. People are coming into our office. When you live in an association, and you don't live in a maintained area, but you live in an association, OAS is usually your accounting service. So when you have questions about your assessments or your dues, or if you're current, or if you're having difficulties in your association, you go to OAS, which is Oakmont Accounting Services. If you have an issue with the recreational facilities in the common areas, or if you made a mistake on paying your dues, you paid $62 instead of $63, then you come to OVA. But I must say that's the single most misunderstood item here in Oakmont, is the difference. So now it's time to introduce the clubs. And I want to go down, and I'm just briefly going to have the people here at this table speak, because some of them are more germane to Oakmont. They're not the big fun groups. These are the groups that help people. So we're going to give them a plug. So the first one is a Sunday Symposium. Who wants to speak, Jim or Don?
Hi, my name is Donna Hopley, and to my left here is Jim Brewer. We are the advertising committee for Oakmont Sunday Symposium. We meet every Sunday, with the exception of 2 months in the summer, which are July and August. Our programs are a variety of subjects, and we, of course, have a variety of speakers. It's very popular, especially for those who don't attend church on Sunday, but you're all welcome to come. I do have a ticket here for your first trip, so come stop by and I'll give you one. Thank you.
And last Sunday, what did you have, 180 people at the last event? We had to sit on the piano bench because we couldn't find a chair. They really have great topics. It's really a wonderful symposium for Oakmont. You have a question? No, it's a good question. It's held at the East Rec Center. Next we have the Oakmont Emergency Preparedness Committee with Tony Lutz and Suzanne Cassell. Suzanne, you want to talk a little bit about it?
Good evening, my name is Suzanne Cassell, and I'm a member of the Oakmont Emergency Preparedness Committee. I serve on the board, and I write all the articles for the Oakmont News. So in the most current Oakmont News of May 1st, you will see on page 22, I talk about an upcoming general meeting for the population. We hold 3 meetings a year, and then the board meets on a monthly basis. So you're all invited to attend, especially the general meeting that's coming up. We're going to be talking about the American Red Cross. Basically, OEPC works in conjunction with COPE, and Sue Adendorf here is going to talk briefly about that after me. We have the zone communicators, we call them the ZCs, and Tony here is the coordinator of the ZCs, and those people will work in case of an emergency, a major emergency, because OAPC's role is to educate the population how to best be prepared in case of a major emergency, such as an earthquake. We have a lot of faults around here, or a major fire that could be started in the Annandale Park. The zone communicators during a major emergency would go around the neighborhood and report whatever needs to be reported, casualties, fire, would report through a radio like this. And when you come around, Tony will explain to you how they work. We're going to have 3 communication centers, one here, one at the West Rec, and one at the East Rec. And those people would communicate with ham radio operators who would call for outside assistance. That's basically what OAPC is. We help you prepare in case of a major emergency.
Okay. I'm Sue Hattendorf, and I'm the one that is the director of COPE here in Oakmont. COPE stands for Citizens Organized to Prepare for Emergencies. I started it in the year 2004, and then I started it for the city of Santa Rosa in the year 2006. The primary purpose of COPE is to build neighborhood families for responding to dire emergency situations, and equally beneficial to provide individual help to each other in your neighborhood. Our theme is really very simple. In a community such as ours, your neighbors really are your closest family. And one of our best advertisements has been residents telling their friends, "Hey, I'm getting to know my neighbors now." Please come and see me if you wish to learn whether your neighborhood has a COPE team, or if you have questions about your neighborhood team, or you might be interested in being the leader of a COPE team. We currently have 233 teams, which is covering 85% of the community. But as to be expected, due to normal attrition, after 10 and 12 years, there are teams that need replacement leaders. So I really look forward to hoping that some of you are going to come up and talk to me about it. Thank you.
Okay, now you're going to hear from a very wonderful group called the Oakmont Volunteer Helpers by Vicki.
Thank you, Cassie. This is a Cassie-approved message. I'm kind of slipping under the Oakmont Volunteer Helpers because we're under that umbrella. And what I'd like to talk about is that we have an Oakmont caregiver support group. Now, everyone here looks very healthy and may not need a support group, but when the time comes, I want you all to know that there is a support group available for when you need it. And it's held twice a month, the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of each month. And I have a licensed facilitator that runs this support group. And for those that have gone there, they find it very beneficial, as we all have issues that we need to talk about it. And just like this lady was talking about, we become a family, and we need to share the things that are going on. So I do have flyers up here on the counter if you're interested. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Susan, and I'm with Volunteer Helpers. And if you ever imagine that you could not be able to drive anymore, we're here, and we would like you to be here. We take people to medical appointments, we take them to Safeway, and you can sign up to be a driver. Now, you get to choose. And already I have a driver, he hasn't even heard from me, and he signed up already, so thank you. You can sign up as much as you want to drive, or as little bit as you want to drive. And you can say, I want to drive on Monday from 2 to 4, or Friday from 1 to 4.
whatever you want. And if the coordinator calls you on that day and you have something else to do, you can certainly say, I'm busy, thank you. But we hope you don't. So if you want to talk about it, you can come up and see me. Thank you.
Vicki, isn't your group funded by the Oakmont Community Foundation?
Yes, it is, and that was a wonderful happening, and I was thinking about that when Cassie was talking about the Oakmont Foundation, and they heard about my support group, and so they funded our facilitator for 1 year, and then they went ahead and they gave us another dollar amount so that we can continue this. And it's just one of the many wonderful things that the foundation does for us so that we can have a wonderful community to live in.
Okay, great. Now we're going to be hearing from Denise, and she's our very special neighbor in Oakmont Gardens.
Hello, my name is Denise Manning. I'm the Community Sales Director across the street at Oakmont Gardens. We offer independent living and assisted living for individuals who maybe are looking for less maintenance on their home and maybe a little bit of help with daily activities of living. I am new to the area myself, and I moved here to be closer to my mom and dad, so it's the reverse story. And as a newcomer to the area, one of the things I like to comment on, and I talk about this to people coming in to inquire about the gardens, is the synergy of this community is absolutely stunning. I have worked in master plan communities in different roles, and I've never seen a master plan community as engaged. It's not a master plan community, I take that back. I've never seen a community as engaged as this one. And it's really wonderful for the residents of the gardens because they interact with the people in the village, and the people in the village interact with the people in the gardens. So I think that I feel very blessed to be here, and I think it's wonderful that you're all here, and welcome to a lovely, lovely community.
Now, I'm just going to go around the room and just name the tables so you can get kind of a bird's eye view if you want to go visit. There's a possibility that some of these tables could have been mixed up at the last minute, so please correct me if I'm going to say something that isn't right. To my right is Osher Lifelong Learning, number 6. Then there's Oakmont Gardens. See, that happened. Oakmont Club, the Architectural Committee, Marianne, the Oakmont Community Church meets here on Sundays. Oakmont Health Initiative, the Garden Club, the Oakmont Art Association, Music at Oakmont, Oakmont Tennis Club, Movies at Oakmont. Got it? Somebody can't count, what can I say? Library volunteers, the Walkers Club, hey, Single Boomers, there you go, Needles and Hooks, the Genealogy Club, the Fitness Club, yay! The Community Garden, the Current Events Club, Table Tennis, Okie Fokies, the Rainbow Women, yay! The Boomers Club, the Enocurians, yay! Water Fitness, Rhythm, Body, and Soul. They are? Okay. Sirs 92.
Right here.
Oakmont Lanes.
Here.
Uh-oh. Polyamo Italiano?
Yay!
American Mahjong.
Right here.
Shaboom.
Right here.
OCLC. What's OCLC? Okay. What do I know? Okay. PC Users Group. All right. And it says PC Users Group / Oakmont. Okay. Here's Piers is for people who want to learn about how to use the facilities, how to use the audio equipment better, because we have hearing loops here. And it's actually a movement that's happened in, I'd say, the last year and a half, where people got so tired of not being able to hear things correctly here, that now this group has been wonderful, because they've sensitized everyone to the fact that sometimes we're not talking directly in the mic, or it doesn't work, or whatever, but we're really making a special effort to improve the equipment so everybody doesn't have any trouble hearing. Where's Neighborhood Watch? Right here. Okay. Kiwanis, Grandparents Club, A Course in Miracles, Circulo Español, the Oakmont Buddhist Group, Serve 53, Stanford Alumni, Cal Alumni Club, Men's Bible Study, Petang. God, sorry. I should know this by now. Lawn bowling.
Here, we're back here.
Oh, you're way back there. Okay, card room games. Lots of games in the back card room at the CAC. Valley of the Moon Rotary.
Back here.
The Play Readers. Okay, Sufi meditation. Did I miss anyone?
The Rovers Club, RV Club.
Okay, the Rovers RV Club, great.
And
Pickleball.
So, oh, pickleball, you're not on here. See, you're so controversial, we can't even put you on the list. All right, we're going to have a grand prize right now, a raffle for St. Francis. It's a $100 gift certificate for the wine and food pairing there. It's absolutely fabulous. I've been to it too many times to even count. And so I thought it would be a great raffle on behalf of Oakmont. So the winner is 233229. Okay, so I'm done droning. Now you can visit all the tables. You've got about 45 minutes to visit the tables, talk to the people you want, and then we're going to have refreshments served after that. So go and enjoy. Thank you for listening. And welcome to Oakmont.